Hey guys, Dan the Man here, and today I've got actually a video for you guys. This is an interesting one. So we're gonna be repairing this mobile phone. It's basically an Oppo A9 2020 128 gigabytes edition. The screen looks fine, there's no crack on it, but it was dropped and it's damaged, so it's not displaying much things and the touch doesn't work anymore. So what I did was that I just bought myself a replacement screen for it online, which is going to be a lot cheaper, and I'm going to replace this with this. And it also came with some glue to glue it back together, and some 3 different types of screws that you might need, and some basic tools that you could use for opening this thing up. So as for this phone, before explaining anything, what I wanted to do was basically, let me change my focus a little bit on the phone. Here we go. So you've got double-sided tape basically on this side, on the back of here, which is the battery area. So you got double-sided tape here and double-sided tape all around this thing. So you need to use a hair dryer, preferably a heat gun, but I don't have a heat gun, so it's a DIY kind of video. So I'm gonna be heating up this area. First I'll start from the bottom of the phone where you charge the phone basically. I start from this area, I'll heat it up, and then I will have to try to find my way in with one of these guitar pick looking things and go all the way around. Open it, you see it says charge, load on charge, and all the way around it, and open it and keep heating and do it little by little. So there is a lot of the glue here, you need to get rid of it and around it. And when you're going around it, be a little bit careful because there is that NFC cable somewhere in here or there. So just go around it, be gentle, you'll be fine. So I'm gonna start heating this thing up. It might get a little bit noisy. Okay, I'll pause the video now because it's going to be a long video, so we'll continue a bit later. So now I have the phone opened, and what I did was basically I tried to go around it with this guitar pick. It was very difficult, so it was like that in there. So I started actually heating up this area, the corner of the phone. This is too thick to go inside there, and I couldn't find anything thinner, so I actually used this screw that came with it. It didn't scratch the phone, I was careful with it. I just put it there slightly and then lifted it up a bit. Once I lifted it up a bit, I have a little bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So basically, while this was in there, I just sprayed a little bit of the rubbing alcohol, and it's not gonna damage the device or anything. And then I just put the guitar pick in there. Once the guitar pick was in there secured, I applied a little bit of more this rubbing alcohol spray. But of course I covered the holes so it's not gonna go inside there. And then I just went around it and went around all the way, but there is a lot of this glue in there, and that's what you need to get rid of first. So what I did was to get rid of all that glue in there was once I had one guitar pick in here, another one on the other side, basically, I lifted this up and then I put a little bit more of rubbing alcohol on this. It's just a cardboard thing that came with the phone. I just put rubbing alcohol on this, and then I just applied it in there. I found my way through it, and then it just came off. And then I just went around it here and everywhere, and it just got off. So once you take this whole thing off, you need to undo one small screw in there, that's there, in order to detach the fingerprint thingy. Okay, so I think that can come out now peacefully and easily. Okay, now I'm gonna grab some of the tool that this came with that can help me to get this thing out. That thing is not out yet completely. Good. So let's remove this gently and see if it comes out. It should come out. It's just playing a little bit. Okay, it just came off. Okay, just popped up like that. Okay, good, beautifully. And now we need to detach this fingerprint sensor thing in there. So I cannot put my nails under there, so it just popped out like that. I used this tool. It's a free plastic tool that came with it. Of course, I'm not a professional, I'm an amateur. It's my first time doing this. But anyways, I assume that we need to remove this frame, because this phone has a frame around it. We don't need a hairdryer anymore. We need to remove this frame from this screen and the back in here. So I assume that what we need to do in order to do that is basically, let me just undo the screws around here to take this whole plastic thingy out. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Actually, these you may not need to remove them, but these you need to remove them in order to take this thing out, and then we will detach this from the board. So let me just undo the screws. So hey guys, I'm back here again, and I'm gonna show you what happened here. So after I took all the screws out, okay, so this was like that, basically in there. It has clips around it, so it's got like clips that goes in, gets stuck to this, okay, around it. So this was in there, took all the screws out without leaving one in there, took it out, worked my way around it with the guitar pick, boom, 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 took it out just like that. And then here I had the battery. So I disconnected these ports. That's probably for your, I'm not sure, for down here. That's for your screen, and that's for your battery. So there's like 3 of them. Battery, probably down here, the I/O and stuff, the USB stuff, and then the screen is there. So I detached these plus the battery. And then there's this thing in there which you can use to pull it up to remove the battery. But it's very difficult because it has glue under it. Okay, so I had to use a little bit of force around it to push it with these plastic clips and stuff to take it out. Or you could apply a little bit of rubbing alcohol in there to basically have the to get rid of the double-sided tape or the glue that's there. Okay, so then the battery is off. You have the battery in there. You can save it somewhere and continue with what you were doing. So now here we have the entire phone in front of us. That's for the screen, as you can see, and it says this is for this, it's connecting this to there, and that's for the battery. So now all you need to do is to basically detach the screen from here, the frame of the phone. So this is the frame of the phone, and we're gonna detach the screen. But before we're gonna do that, you have your new screen, right? So you get your new screen, you take it off, and you would connect these back to where they were. Okay, or let me put the battery back in. Just to make sure that everything's running, I'm gonna put the battery back in. Okay, without that. And I'm gonna connect the battery back in. Okay, and then connect the charging port. But instead of the screen, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be connecting the new screen to see if it works, because we need to test it, right, before putting it in there. So because it's a little bit difficult to do it like that, I'm gonna be lifting the battery up again a little bit, put it that way. Okay, gonna have the battery like that, battery in, connected, and I'm gonna put this under it so that I can connect the new screen and make sure that everything's okay before actually installing the new screen. Okay, so new screen connected, all the ports are connected. Now I'm gonna pause the video because this phone is out of battery actually. It's been dead for months, so I need to charge it in order to have it switch on. To see if the screen is working, then we're good to go, and we'll continue by removing the screen from the main frame. Okay, just follow back. Hey guys, I'm back. So I have actually charged the phone to 5 or 6%. This phone was absolutely dead. Let me tell you about it. So now you're gonna actually switch it on by the same way that you used to switch it on. You have to look on the side in here for a button, the power button that you used basically to switch on your phone. Hold it and it comes on. It looks like the screen is working beautifully. So let's just wait there until it completely boots, and then we'll switch it off and then put everything back together. So this is just a test that I'm doing right now to make sure the screen that I purchased is working, so that we don't have to undo everything again. So if the screen is faulty at this point, I can return it and no problem, they'll accept it. But once you glue it back there, impossible. So let's try. The touch seems to be working well, but I'm just being very gentle with it because it's not in position yet. Okay, it's on 7% battery right there. It says, because I charged it around that much. It's working beautifully. Everything works fine. It's lagging a little bit because I'm being very gentle with it. It works beautifully. Everything seems to be registering and stuff, but it doesn't have enough battery and it has not been updated, so it's trying to update everything. That's why it's lagging a little bit right now. So I've tested this, it works beautifully, and that's basically what we want from this phone. All right, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna try to switch it off. Okay, I need to unlock it again. Okay, this has been unlocked. Now I'm gonna switch it off. Boom, switched off. So next thing that we're gonna do right here is we're gonna gently lift this, okay, very gently, and we're gonna detach the screen again. The same screen that we attached just now. But before actually doing that, be careful with this, it's very sensitive. I'm gonna take the battery out because we don't want to short anything. Okay, battery's out, screen out, and the USB area is out as well. So now we're gonna take this off. We're gonna put this aside. Our working screen is gonna be put aside, and now what we have to do, we have to basically, you don't have to remove the motherboard, you can just let the motherboard be there. You don't have to touch that, you can just leave it where it is. What you have to do is, we have to actually heat the screen up. We have to heat this area up around here, all over here. So we'll use a hair dryer because we don't have a heat gun. This is DIY kind of thing. I'm not a professional, okay? Well, I'll hit this thing up and then I'll try to squeeze this under it and gently go around it, heat it up, go around it, and open this thing up. Don't rush. Be very patient with this. Even though you don't care about damaging the current screen that's there because it's a dead screen, we're gonna replace that. So that is not our issue here. So we're gonna hit this thing up, go around it, open it up, and I'll pause the video for a little bit because I'm gonna be heating this thing up and it's gonna be loud, crazy loud. I wish I had a hit gun. But anyways, if you guys wanna sponsor me, you can sponsor me with a hit gun. So that's all. I'll come back in a bit. So I'm back here again, guys. I don't have much time. I'm gonna like switch this thing off. Okay, good, awesome, fantastic. So what I did was right now, I basically went in the corner, I heated it up, and then I tried to lift it up with this thing. It's sharp, it's metal, but we don't care about damaging this screen since we have actually, since the screen is damaged already, so we're just gonna work our way around it a little bit. And I'm gonna apply a little bit of this rubbing alcohol in there, because it helps to, yeah, see, just like that, very easily it helps to get rid of all that glue that's holding this together. I'm gonna apply more of this alcohol in there on this paper that came with the phone, and I'm gonna work my way in. Yes, I'm working my way in all the way. Yes, you see, it just detached very beautifully, I assume, but not that beautifully. Okay, it's there. That's it separated the actual screen. Now we're gonna tear this apart. This thing comes off. Okay, so that's right here our old screen. So you just go around it with alcohol. You can easily get rid of the extra glue that was there, and that's a very easy way of handling such things. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna clean around it if there is any adhesive left from the previous screen, and then we will put our new screen in there together. So I'm gonna clean around here, and cleaning it's very simple. I'm gonna try to not use a tissue, but no choice, right? I have to make this work. And I hope I'm not gonna run out of memory, or whatever you call it, on my phone. Just going around to make sure there is no adhesive glue left. I'm cleaning it with rubbing alcohol at this time right now, so just to make sure everything's smooth. We're not gonna have problem installing this, and that would be it. There's a little bit of this, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. You see this thing? The adhesive that was previously applied. Get rid of all of this when you can. Get rid of all of this, make sure it's clean. I'm gonna come back to you guys in a bit. You know how to do it, right? It's easy. So now back here again, guys. So I have cleaned the adhesive from this, and since we're gonna be doing a clean job of putting this in there, as we know this works, so we're better off to, should I remove this blue thing? Yes, I think I should. Yes, there is a thing that helps me to remove this blue thing. Okay, that's nice. Okay, that has been removed. And do I need to remove this as well? I assume yes. So that's here. So what we're gonna do is basically to put this in its place correctly, okay? But before putting it completely together, I think it's better if I apply the glue around it. This is the glue that it came with the screen. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this around this area. I'm gonna work my way through it. If it gets a little bit messy or dirty, don't worry about that. That is not going to be an issue. As long as you are going around beautifully, that's what matters, you know. Okay, we need to have this seated nicely before it dries, so all I'm trying to do is to get this right. Don't worry if it gets a little bit dirty, because you know, you can clean it. You can clean this glue with alcohol once you have sealed this screen. So a little bit of glue here and there is not gonna damage or cause any problems for us. Yes, enough glue there in the corners. Make sure it covers everything and everywhere. And yes, that's what we wanted. Good. Enough glue everywhere. You know, you need to take your time when you're doing such a thing, because it's important to not screw it up. So now I'm gonna have this in there, and I'm gonna sit the screen in its place, and I'm gonna make sure that it sits beautifully, because okay, it's seated beautifully. Apply some pressure. Don't worry about the extra glue that's on your way. We can always handle that later. You can always clean that. I'm just removing that protector that it came with to make sure that there's enough pressure all around it. So don't worry about applying some pressure around it with your hands, just to make sure that it's in beautifully and it's doing what it should be doing. Oh, and don't forget to close your glue. Get rid of this thing, because we're gonna be using this again. So I'm gonna put this back in. Yes, here we go. So this thing is glued nicely, it's in its place. Just making sure all the corners and everything just rounds up, and you can later on apply this glue again if you wanted to in your future devices or whatever you might have. This is seated right nicely. I'm just making sure that I'm not making any mistakes, because I'm an amateur. I've not done this before. It's my first time doing this actually, and I have not watched any videos of this particular phone, but I've watched other videos how they repair other phones. So we're gonna just put the cable back in its place. We're gonna have it seated beautifully, and we're gonna connect the screen connector right there, and having this there, connect the other things too. It's seated there nicely. So next thing, we're gonna take our beautiful battery. I don't like this thing. I don't like this plastic thing around it. I'm gonna cut that off. Yes, now it's much better. And perhaps I would like to apply a little bit of this glue in there, but it's not necessary. The glue is already there. We could reuse that glue. Believe me, it's a very strong glue. It's not gonna let anything in and out of its place. And now I'm gonna put the battery back in, and good, that's done. Mission accomplished right there. We're gonna put back all the stuff. Okay, there's no dirt in there. There's dirt on the outside, which we don't care, and it's not important. All the cables are back in. This, I made sure that this is in one more time, because it tends to be popping out sometimes. So yeah, putting back this again to its frame. Beautifully done. Nicely done. Beautiful. Okay, we have this back in its place. Now what we can do is clean this, okay, clean around this area with rubbing alcohol. Get rid of this old adhesive that was there, and we'll continue from there. I'll just show you guys how you can actually clean it. Just use some rubbing alcohol. Rub the rubbing alcohol, because that's why we call it rubbing alcohol, right? The rubbing alcohol tends to eat through this kind of adhesive, so we're gonna get rid of all that nasty stuff in there. Be patient, take your time, okay? This would probably take me about an hour to play it, to repair it, because I'm not a professional. I don't own a shop. I don't do this for a living. I do it as a hobby. So you can use other plastic tools to get rid of that adhesive that's there. It's coming off beautifully. So take your time, clean all of this, clean back here, around here with rubbing alcohol. Then you'll apply this and we'll put the back cover in when we connect there, of course. But yeah, I'll come back to you guys in a bit. Hey guys, I'm back here again. And my camera ran out of battery, unfortunately. So what I'm doing right now, I've cleaned around here. I need to clean it a little bit better. So I'm putting back all the screws in here. So let's just do it together. This is some sort of a tedious kind of thing to do, but if you enjoy what you're doing and if you consider this a hobby, then it will be fine. For me, it's more like a hobby kind of a thing. So yeah, so I'm gonna put the rest of the screws back in, clean it a little bit better, and also make sure you'll be cleaning here as well, the back cover. Okay, clean all over there, all this area, get rid of all this previously applied adhesive, because we're gonna apply a new one there. We have it right there. So that's it. I'll be back to you guys in a bit later. So here I am back again. I've put all the screws back in there, and what I'm gonna do is actually put the back cover in here. And before putting the back cover in, I need to put back the fingerprints connector in. I need to put it back. Okay, that has been connected. And now I need to put the screw back that was holding it in its place so that it doesn't pop out. So it's in there. I'm gonna just finish it off beautifully. Yes, I hope you can see it on the camera. So all that's done now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply this adhesive around the corners that this will be going in. I may not be doing the greatest job in the world, and that's because I'm not a professional, but I'm learning. So I'm just gonna apply it all over in the corners and then put this back in there. Make sure there's no junk in there. You can take your time doing this a little bit, so don't worry, no judgment here or there, but you can judge me if you want in the comment section. That's up to you. So putting a little bit more of this, more, so it can stay together. Putting a little bit extra in the middle there, so it can just seal this thing pretty well. But if your phone is a waterproof phone, this is not a waterproof phone, so it doesn't have water resistancy or things like that. After changing or opening it, it may not be waterproof anymore. So just to keep that in mind. But this phone is not waterproof, so we're not gonna have problem with that. So I'm gonna make sure it gets everywhere, and we'll have a decent amount of it, and that it will be good. So I'm gonna put the back cover in. Done. So back cover is in its place, and I'm gonna have it sealed. It's sealed nicely. It looks like a damn brand new phone right now. So make sure you just squeeze the glue a little bit around here so that it goes all over the place. I'm gonna switch it on just to make sure everything's fine. Everything's fine, it's booting, it's beautifully done. And you see a little bit of dirtiness and stuff in there. Once you're done with that, you can just scratch it off with your nail, and that would be it pretty much, you know. Anyways, so that's all. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That's all. See you guys later.